Ta-da! Ta-da! What comes next? A grand finale of some sort? Does the game end now, or is there more? It's the tree. The tree that was cut down by the shitty people. It was you, you asshole. I don't know, it seems like everyone's still worshipping the tree. Was the tree the basis of the mind control? That's kind of sad. Like, it's kind of a bummer to see the tree all chopped up and be like, and that be like the solution. It was a cool tree. I liked it. Why'd you gotta go and fuck up the tree? Which door did I come from again? That's the way I came from. Right, because that's the way that he's coming from, usually. And so we have a door that way. But we have these two optional challenges. We're not there yet. This one's I think this world was 2 levels longer, I guess. Infinite roots. What's going to happen here? Hello. So once again, an eye is trapped where I can't reach it. There's some kind of back flat platform happening there. There's a statue here. A gem beacon. Duck. Favorite mechanic. Let's keep scouting. This level looks really big. Almost distressingly so. I'm not sure what good you're doing me at that angle. Let's bring you around. Ah. But this is its own problem, huh? The spikes will be in my way. Does it help me much in the other direction either, though? So I needed to face this direction to light that, as far as I can tell. Because there's a bridge there, and a bridge here. We have a harp that has to be played. And it does not seem that the eye cannot be seen from the perspective of the heart. But it can be played from here. But that's a problem because you need to face here as far as I can tell. I can't pick up the eye, but I can switch you. God damn it. So that switch is bad because it puts me in a situation where it blocks the beam. we need to unlock the door anyway. So I think I do switch that location like I just did. Why did I just do that? I wasted it. I gotta redo this now. Shit. I'm gonna get you to a more useful location at the moment. So I was thinking the statue would be there, and then I'd figure out how to get to that spot, and I would switch from there to the statue, which simultaneously moves the statue to there. That does raise a new concern, though. Which is, can that even work? I can't even make it that far. But no, you cannot see that spot from that lock. But that plan doesn't work. So I need the statue to be there, but I need to be there. And it seems like I have to switch with the statue to get there. Because I need this to be dark to ring the bell, and it can't be that because I have to be able to look away. But I also need it to be there for me to get across the bridge. And once again, you won't help me with that either. So having the statue skip the first step means that this light could just be already facing that direction, and that solves that problem. But it won't solve that problem. I need to be able to put you on that lock while I'm over here. And you accomplish something. Yeah, it's not gonna work. So I can't get across this. Well, it's like this. Oh wait, but you're gonna still be dark powered, so I can still leave you there. No, I can't? Because that one's gem based while the other one isn't. So now it's beyond. Now the secondary beam comes through. I feel like there's a trick to be had here. Because I can ring it from there. How do I get across this bridge? I need you to turn around, because this one won't help me. So how do I turn you around? God damn it. It's really hard to express how frustrating these mechanics are in action. Some of them feel like they're designed to frustrate. It might be you that needs the gem at the end. Because if this is pointing this way, the eye can jumpstart the darkness. Did I do it? Yes. Haha. I figured you out. The life we live is based on the choices made by our ancestors. The lives of our children will be based on the choices we make. Everyone stands on the shoulders of giants. Giant, dead-ass giants who are dead. 45. So when I get this next scroll, we'll be at scroll 46. Maybe there's a few puzzles left after all then. Because they might go for a nice round 40. They might go for a nice round 50 or something. Maybe not. I kind of prefer when they don't, when it's just some random number. Because that means that usually means that they went for the number of puzzles that they had in mind, as opposed to filling it out with content. Like, I think it's to the detriment of the game. For example, when games like Judgment are like, there are 50 friendships and 50 side quests. I'm like, wow, those are really specific round numbers you landed on. Almost like you maybe have a bunch of content that wasn't as good, that you might have cut if you were being more discerning, but you wanted a nice landmark for your content total. And I've seen a lot of examples of that. And that usually stuff stands out that way. Although I'd be really bad at judging which puzzles may or may not be filler in this game, because I've been bad at the game. So we have a spotlight over there. My goal's over there, but there's a lock, which unlocks something over there, which is weird. The gate is back. The eye is back. The spikes are back. The light bridges and the harps are back. The eye is back. Everything's back. Hooray. What am I looking at with this one? Let's see. It's pretty easy to get past this harp, but the door is locked. I was trying to see behind it. So what are we trying to do by unlocking this gate? Maybe let's check back over here. Okay, so we get through the gate to open that beacon and point it this way, at which point we can probably abandon the lock, I assume? Oh right, and the eye is something I can pick up. There's definitely an element of this that feels less frustrating whenever I'm allowed to pick up the eye. That was pretty straightforward, actually. Huh. Why? Why are there stairs here? I find that somewhat strange. Oh, it's because I'm trapped. Aren't I? Unless I just switch with you, right? Because the issue here is I can't rotate this way and then walk out that way, because the bridge won't be open. But I can just switch with the statue, right? And then I'll... That kind of creates its own problem though, doesn't it? Because now every time I switch with that statue... That causes... Yeah, that causes two problems. One, the statue blocks the spotlight, so now the spotlight doesn't do anything, which was the whole point of going in there in the first place, but also every time I switch with the statue, I'll be stuck in there again. So I can't put the statue anywhere, effectively. Not. Help. Whoa. I was able to cross that. So that's a problem. I'm right at the end. It's pointing here. That's how I leave. That's how we win. But I can't do the usual trick of just bridging the gap here. Because if I enter shadow mode here, then that's normally how I would like ride the beam, then rotate it while I'm inside of it to go that way. But this is here, so it stops that from being a valid choice. So I guess you just have to point it that way. But there's no beacon that points over here. So how am I getting into shadow mode? That probably is it, isn't it? I have to get there, then use the eye. So I have to get to the end, then use the eye to activate the last one, which means the beacon needs to be coming through here. It's like when I look at the eye, the beacon needs to turn on. At the moment, the beacon just does that. I need to figure out how to fix this. And this must be related to what this guy's for? I haven't used this guy at all. What? Really? That's it? Weird. That didn't feel like it was a solution. It felt sloppy. And then it worked. The world we live in will never be perfect, but the hope for a brighter tomorrow will always fuel the fires of progression. We've got 46. We've done it. Right? Like a badass. So boss fight or roll credits or what's gonna happen now? The Garden of Merits. Well, I take it I got the good ending then, huh? You can read them all again here. Yep. So I guess I got every single merit in the game, and that rebuilds the statue. There's little hints of corruption out there. Whoa, invisible wall. I can't go off this ledge. Could have used a few of those throughout the game. The water wheel. Does water have... Does it have flow? To warrant that? Well. The fact that that pops up means that we're pretty much at the end, right? There still might be one last level. But we're done with optional challenges because the check for completionism just happened. So quiet right now. Game got so quiet. The journey will reach its end, but the footsteps we leave behind are eternal and will light the way for many others to come. Eternity. Well, there we go. A few feelings. First of all, that ending is like, and then everyone was sacrificed to the tree god and they all died. What's funny is it's almost reasonable to interpret it hilariously as like a story where there are a bunch of living statues with consciousnesses trapped in them were liberated by the super statue boy, and then they all got to live on as trees, which is better than statues, and they were never people at all. Like, they were never humans, they were always statues, like the weeping angels, and they got to evolve into druid trees, which is like a better state of being. It's more free because you like change and grow over time. Instead of it being a representation of people, which is what you would assume it would be. Like, it's kind of funny that you could still think of it as they were never humans, they were always statues, which apparently have emotions and shit and exploitation. So, very beautiful game. Some emphasis on repeating assets and kind of haphazard, silly asset placement that kind of somewhat diminishes the visual appeal of the stuff. But as you might imagine, I put in the request for the key in the first place to play this game, specifically because I saw the visuals. I'm like, oh wow, it's called the Sojourn and it looks like that. Like that image I saw on the that you see in the thumbnail and stuff like that. Like, I was really drawn in by the visual style and was looking forward to a really cool adventure of some kind, and had no idea what it was going to be like. So I was a little disappointed when I realized, oh, it's puzzle chambers, because I was kind of expecting like an adventure, something more along the lines of maybe like Abduction and Mist and stuff like that, where you're exploring this world that looks like this and solving environmental puzzles along the way. Like We Were Here and stuff like that, which should have started airing by now, I think. Or am I going to put that in this slot? I don't know. So I thought it'd be like a series of unique puzzles, maybe, and like learning about this world and so on. Because this kind of art style, you know, when you have this kind of appealing looking world, you kind of inherently want to figure it out, what you're looking at and what it means. You search for meaning in it. And so when the meaning turns out to be just a series of puzzle chambers that tell an incredibly vague and generic story of like, this is a society and there was bad, but then there was good because you fixed the bad, and then like that's kind of it. Like, there's some iconography you can try to draw from and really try to force additional texture and meaning out of it, but really like the story was about as bare bones as you could possibly get, which is kind of a bummer. That's me expecting the game to be something it isn't, though. But still, it's when you see a visual world like this, it's hard not to want to care about the world. So I don't think it's entirely unfair to criticize that, or just not, even if it's not a criticism, just acknowledge that that's the feeling and emotion you kind of get stuck with, is you see this world and you kind of want to draw meaning from it and expect something to go on with it. Something more akin to like We Were Here or Abduction or Rhyme or something, where you kind of get to do more within it, although that was pretty vague too. But really it was kind of just it was mostly just a series of backdrops to give you a sense of progression and pacing and stakes while you were solving these puzzle chambers. But like that reveal of like walking into that one room and having it all turn out to all be dust and stuff like that, like those kinds of reveals just feel like they'd mean more if you were in a game where you understood what was happening and said story had more like texture and characters to it, so that you had a reason to care. Because otherwise it's just a cool visual that is placed in a part of the story that maybe, how do I put it, like this is the vagueness of how like the storytelling of Journey happened. But Journey was 90 minutes long, and maybe even a little shorter as you played more. So like that kind of really simple storytelling on such a short game kind of fits pacing wise. But in a longer experience with more mechanics involved, and you're going to spend like a good number of hours playing it, I don't know. I guess I kind of just end up wanting more from the story. And in this world, when I see this world, I end up kind of wanting to like interact with it in any way, because you have like a series of different backgrounds that are like these settings where you have, weirdly, some of them are even like not that connected. In particular, my two favorite locations have like nothing to do with each other. If I remember correctly, the first world, the backdrop and the puzzles felt like they were in the same location. And then when you get to the... Well, no, the first world didn't have a backdrop and locations. You were just walking through a series of puzzle chambers that were directly linked to each other. I keep forgetting about that one. But then later on... I guess later on you had the elevator that was going through some portals, so that was more disconnected. But like the final world was a dark, corrupted place, and a dark, corrupted place that kind of felt like they were connected in some way. Like they were more or less the same place, kind of, if maybe a different perspective and a different lighting. But my favorite locations were that like icy, columnar jointing filled wharf location and the druid tree. And when I think back, I have to realize, oh right, the druid tree was the hub world for the icy wharf levels. And I'm like, that's weird, isn't it? That those were the same. It's a little weird that those two were the same world. Like there's two visual locations that don't seem to have any apparent connection that you're warping between for some reason. I don't know. There's just a thing where all the setting kind of feels like noise. Like it's just kind of the assets and worlds that they came up with as artists, but didn't necessarily have a reason for them in the story, which is somewhat reinforced by all the merits being really vague platitudes that don't really amount to much. I don't know, I guess I just find myself wanting more from that. Because having these locations and the promise of that, and wanting to know more and wanting to see more and wanting to walk around in these places, only to find out that you're just going to be in the same puzzle over and over again, where you're on a weird series of catwalks where you teleport some statues around and like they slowly layer on mechanics. The disharmony of those two things, I think, kind of gets distracting. Like it almost makes the platforms more boring when you have the promise of more than it would be if the whole world was just a chain of puzzles and that was just it. I don't know. I think part of it's just like I found myself getting less and less interested in said puzzles. They were less intriguing and more frustrating and at times even irritating. There's a few of the ways that they work where there's a reset involved that just gets to be a lot, but I don't know. I guess the takeaway is just I wasn't having that much fun with the puzzles themselves, so I didn't really look forward to more of them that much, where in other puzzle games I might. But they do get points for being original and different. I didn't feel like I was just playing a remake of another type of puzzle game I played before, and I've played so many games where the same puzzles show up over and over again, like sliding tile puzzles and Pipe Dream and the 3 water jugs and so on, that it's in Towers of Hanoi. That it's nice to see something that was a fresh little brain teaser and with a new thing going on. It's just that unfortunately I can't necessarily say that I liked solving said puzzles around the halfway point. I was like, I don't actually know if I like playing these puzzles. They're different and they're challenging, but I kind of want to go away now. Anyway, thanks for watching like always, guys, and I'll see you next time.